We have breaking news. For the first time in U.S. history, the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, has officially been ousted as Speaker by Republican Matt Gaetz. And Matt Gaetz was really the one that would pretty much start all of this. And Republicans have warned, which I would say former Speaker now, Kevin McCarthy, that if he would make a deal with Joe Biden on the government shutdown, to delay the government shutdown, that Republicans would oust him. And Kevin McCarthy himself even tweeted on Twitter, on his Twitter account, quote unquote, Kevin McCarthy said, "Bring it on." And what Republicans did was they bring it on. And with that being said, with what Kevin McCarthy said, bring it on, they did. Republicans did that, and that caused McCarthy to be removed from Speaker of the House, and he will no longer be Speaker. Now, does that mean Democrats will be, Hakeem Jeffries possibly be the new Speaker? No, he would have to wait for 2024. It would probably be another Republican representative that will replace Kevin McCarthy. There's a few names in particular, but we can get to that later. But so basically, Republicans have warned McCarthy before that if they would make a deal with Biden on the government shutdown, they would oust him. And guess what? McCarthy made the deal with Democrats and to delay the government shutdown. And that's what Republicans did. Matt Gaetz, in this case, mainly Matt Gaetz, he was the one that really led this charge to begin with, said that if McCarthy makes a deal with Biden on the government shutdown, which McCarthy did, McCarthy agreed with the Democrats to delay the government shutdown. And so that's what McCarthy did. And, Republicans have warned him, Republicans warned McCarthy in the past before, and McCarthy even acknowledged this and said, bring it on. And that's what happened. Republicans bring it on. Now, does this necessarily mean this is good or bad? It honestly depends. If you're Democrats, it's good. Because if you're a Democrat, Kevin McCarthy being ousted is good for you if you are a Democrat. Because that means that Republican representatives are divided. We have a divided Republican House of Representatives. Most Republicans are divided. We had 8 of Republican representatives sided with the Democratic Party to oust Kevin McCarthy. Democrats won the vote, 216 to oust McCarthy, and Republicans failed the vote at 210 to keep him. Now, 8 Republicans, keep in mind, sided with the Democrats, which is the main reason why McCarthy has been removed in the first place, because these 8 Republicans agreed with the Democrats to oust him, including the person who led this, Matt Gaetz, was the most important person that would actually have this whole thing go down. Matt Gaetz is the pretty much the only one that actually got this done and pretty much started the oust McCarthy movement. The oust McCarthy movement, or remove him from the Speaker of the House, was all brought by one person, and that was Matt Gaetz himself. And so with this being said, this is a win-win scenario for the Democrats, in my opinion, and I think most of you guys can agree. The Republicans ousting McCarthy is a win for Democrats, because that means only one thing, that Republicans are divided. And what this means for Republicans is, this may be good for you if you're kind of anti. There's a lot of anti McCarthy Republicans out there, and that is actually a good percentage of the Republican Party. Some people call him neocons. Some Republicans don't even trust him, and a lot of those Trump Republicans actually don't like McCarthy. So it could be a win for Republicans, but I see it as a loss because Republicans are divided. As most and majority of Republicans voted to keep McCarthy, that's why they're divided, because these 8 Republicans had sided with the Democrats. So yeah, the House floor of the Republican Party is really divided, and this is a big win for Democrats. I see this as a big win for Hakeem Jeffries in 2024, because I firmly believe that Hakeem Jeffries will be the new Speaker of the House in the year of 2024, which is going to be the next election in about a year from now. So I do think Hakeem Jeffries, which I think most of us agree that he is likely to be the next Speaker, Hakeem Jeffries, after we find McCarthy's placement, which I think should be a Republican representative, I believe. I think from the state of Alabama, possibly. Yeah, there's a lot of there's some contenders to replace McCarthy out there. And yeah, I think this is a win-win scenario for Hakeem Jeffries himself and the Democratic Party in general, or the Democrat House of Representatives. And obviously, Nancy Pelosi, if you guys were wondering, was not able to vote as she was in California with this breaking news, so she was not able to vote. And Democrats still got it done. They ousted him, and these 8 Republicans sided with the Democrats, and this is good for Democrats. And Republicans, it could be good because, the Republicans that don't like McCarthy, but also I see this bad for the GOP because it means they're divided. Now they may not be divided in the general election side, as majority of the Republican Party is pro Donald Trump, but they are, divided when it comes to ousting McCarthy or not. As majority of the Republicans did not want to oust him, but these 8, including Matt Gaetz, sided with the Democrats and made the party more divided amongst the House specifically. So there you guys go. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this breaking news. For the first time in U.S. history, this is happening. McCarthy is breaking records. He is breaking history. McCarthy is the first officially to be removed as the Speaker of the House, and in U.S. history for the first time. So McCarthy is breaking records, actually. And the tweet that McCarthy said, "Bring it on," I think he might want to remove that tweet because they bring it on, and guess what? It costed him his job. So I don't think McCarthy is too happy with what he tweeted out, I believe yesterday, because Matt Gaetz was threatening to oust him, and McCarthy was like, bring it on. And that's what McCarthy tweeted, and guess what? That's what happened. They bring it on, and it costed McCarthy's job. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. Do you think this is a win for Democrats? Because I do. Do you think this is a bad thing for Republicans or a good thing? I see it as a 50-50 for Republicans. It could be good and bad, but I see it mainly bad for Republicans. But no matter what, this is huge good news for Democrats. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this breaking news in the comment section down below. And don't forget to subscribe as we are approaching 600 subscribers now. We're about to hit 600. And by the way, this was a 216, like I mentioned earlier, to 210. 216 voted to remove him, including 8 Republicans, and 210 Republicans voted to keep him. And this is breaking news. And McCarthy, to begin with, he barely won back in the 2022 midterm. So it's not like he won with a crazy margin. No, Republicans were still, divided. The House was very divided in the 2022 midterms. McCarthy won with the narrowest margins of all margins. It was really, really narrow. Now, when, Nancy Pelosi won back in the year of 2018, her margin wasn't that narrow as McCarthy's was. So that's how divided the Republicans, representatives house is pretty much divided. So that's pretty much it. Thank you everyone for watching.